Michael Martin is with me. Sir, I'm grateful that you've given us the time. A simple question to start with. Why now? What is the significance of doing it now, where many people will say this is just, in a sense, mischievous, in a sense of making life more difficult?
Well, just to say, when this Irish government was elected in 2020, in the programme for government, it made a commitment to the recognition of a Palestinian state. Now, it did caveat that in terms of timing and making sure it was optimal in terms of a pathway to a two-state solution, and also to protect the integrity of a two-state solution. Now, it's clear from us that the integrity of that two-state solution has been undermined in recent years by the strategy of the Israeli government, and particularly the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has declared opposition to it and who hasn't really dealt with the violent settlers that continue to take territory in the West Bank and attack Palestinians there and drive them off their land. And the further key point was the Arab Peace Initiative. We've been in constant contact over the last 12 months with Jordan, with Egypt, Palestinian Authority, Saudi Arabia and others, who have developed a comprehensive peace initiative that has recognition as part of.
Minister, you say these things, and I noticed that you're in front of both the Irish flag and I think that's probably the EU flag behind you today. But it was interesting today when the Taoiseach was speaking, he didn't have the EU flag behind him. Now, is that just, was that deliberate or was that just one of those things?
I'd say it was one of those things. I'm not sure whether the EU flag was there or not, because we generally have the EU flag behind everything we do. So I wouldn't read anything into that.
Right. Well, it just shows the sort of.
And the reason being.
Go ahead.
The reason being, Richard, is that we acknowledge that within the European Union there are different perspectives on this. Some for historic reasons, but there are a lot of like-minded states within the European Union that have been engaged on this issue. I would have hosted a dinner some months ago. Belgium would have hosted one prior to that in respect of this issue, the Israeli, the need for a cessation of violence, the need for unconditional release of hostages. We've condemned Hamas unreservedly for what they do, and the need for massive surge of humanitarian aid into Gaza. And then recognition was also a key question that a number of up to 7 or 8 like-minded states have been discussing now for well over 12 months. And more. And there is a growing impatience with the lack of any political will on behalf of Israel towards a political track and towards realizing that, in our view, a two-state solution is the only way that Israelis and Palestinians can live in harmony side by side. That's ultimately the way forward. There cannot just be a military solution to such a complex issue in terms of nationhood, identity, and an absence of conflict.
Portmarnock is arguably the most well-known of.
Michael Martin is with me. Sir, I'm grateful that you've given us the time. A simple question.